Thank you, Speaker. My question is for the Premier. Opposition to paving over parts of the Greenbelt and prime farmland by wasting $10 billion on a highway to save commuters 30 seconds is growing. Orangeville and Halton Hills have passed resolutions against Highway 413. The Halton Federation of Agriculture is opposed to it. And now the President of the Ontario Federation of Agriculture is calling on the government for an agricultural impact assessment to determine how Highway 413 will affect farmers in the agri-food sector. Speaker, given how important farming is to our economy and our food security, will the Premier listen to the OFA, conduct an agricultural impact assessment before wasting any money on Highway 413?
Government House Leader to reply.
Mr. Speaker, as I said yesterday, there's still a tremendous amount of work that needs to be done, an environmental assessment, and still some consultations with our partners in the area, Mr. Speaker. Obviously, agriculture remains one of the most important activities, economic drivers, not only in that region but across the province of Ontario, and we're going to do everything that we can to ensure that remains the case, including in that area. Thank you.
Member for Guelph.
Speaker, given that it's clear the government still has a lot of homework to do on this highway, I'm now confused why they're fast-tracking it. Just 4 years ago, an expert panel determined that the costs of the highway far, far exceed the benefits. And the pandemic has even raised more questions about the need for this highway. So, Speaker, why is the government prepared to spend $10 billion on a highway to save people 30 seconds when we desperately need more money to hire staff and pay them properly in long-term care, when municipalities are desperate for money to support their public transit systems, when the wait time for mental health services are 18 months and longer, when small businesses need direct financial support to survive? Will the government just do the right thing and shelve this highway?
Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, look, obviously we made a commitment before we were elected that we were going to do our best to ensure that the people of the province of Ontario could get around. We saw decades worth, over a decade and a half worth of stagnation by the previous Liberal government, and we said we were going to invest in transit and transportation, roads and infrastructure. The Greenbelt plan itself always envisioned that there would be important infrastructure made available to be built in the Greenbelt. We have tremendous growth happening in that area of the province, Mr. Speaker, so it is important that we take a look at ways of getting people around. It is ironic to hear the member of the Green Party, I said this yesterday when I was a federal member of Parliament, we were talking about the Rouge National Urban Park, Class 1 farmland. You know what the Green Party position was in Ottawa? Reforest it, because Class 1 farmland wasn't important. The only party in this place to take away land from farmers was the Liberal Party, who took away hundreds of acres of a generational farmer in my riding to build the Bob Hunter Memorial Park when everybody was saying stand up for farmers.